All right, I'm gonna make a video framing my idea as to why I took both of my trades today. All right, first and foremost, where are we in the range? Well, we came from a swing point at the lows here. Candle 1, 2, 3. This was candle 4 expansion up into an area of liquidity over here. Okay. So my initial idea was that I wanted to see if we were going to respect the bullish momentum and continue up, right? So if we're going to respect it, my invalidation area would be below this 50% level. Okay. So if price were to come down and disrespect this 50% and continue down, my targets would be down here for us to continue a reversal down, right? If it was to respect this 50% and above area of this range, of this daily range, then I would expect us to create the wick and expand up. Okay. So on the 4-hour, with the previous daily high here, because this is the new 1800 open here, the new daily open, 1800. So we open up, we sweep previous daily high. Okay. So now this is already setting up for a swing. Previous daily high. This is already setting up for a swing. Okay. Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. And we take a look at ES. We had not taken the high here. Let's take a look at YM also, just for, and YM. Yeah, YM did take it. But we had an SMT here with YM, where YM took this high like this. Yeah, so YM 2200 candle took this high as well. So now we have an SMT like this and an SMT like this on both sides. So there's a two-stage cracking correlation here, right? So this is framing to create the external back down into the internal. Now, this begs the question as to where would I aim for my internal to be, okay? Now, there's this fair value gap that I can see visible on the 4-hour, but I didn't want to see us open up so early and expand so early in the day, because I wanted us to set up for at least 6 o'clock to be the expansion, because that's what makes sense. Make London the higher low of the day, which by this time, this wouldn't be the higher low of the day for London. London would have to open up at 2. So, I don't want to see a deeper price, but we can't see fair value gaps here on the 4-hour. So we move down to the hourly and we can see inside that wick, there's a fair value gap here. Okay. So disregarding this fair value gap on the 4-hour, I'm looking at this fair value gap as my target for the internal. So we have our setup here for the external back into the internal. I had taken a setup here after I saw that we had further SMT here with Asia and ES, NQ and ES over here, where NQ swept this high, where ES swept this high during Asia and NQ didn't. So that was just reinforcing my narrative, okay? So we had two-stage cracking correlation, previous daily high swept. Asia swept a high during ES where NQ didn't. And we can see that, you know, price continued to deliver to the downside and creating new swings to the downside, right? So we keep reinforcing that bearish narrative, okay? Yeah, so we had made a SMT over here as well. So there's an SMT like this. So still, we're continuing the narrative, we're pushing down. during Asia and London. So London, we had reached that area during 2 p.m. At 2 a.m. we had reached this area, right? So from 2 to 4, continued to push down into this range. And I'm framing my setups for 6 a.m. and for 10 a.m., right? So this is where I want to catch that New York expansion. So if I'm expecting us to create the framework, which is internal to external here now, because as you can see during London and Asia, we had pushed down and created all the sell side liquidity of over here. I mean, not sell side liquidity, low resistance liquidity all over here. Okay, so we're pushing down, we're creating that daily wick. So we opened up, swept the previous daily high initially, like reinforcing that narrative to push down from external down back down into internal, creating that wick here of the daily. And what we can see over here when we created that wick of the daily is that there was a, if I'm expecting this to be an internal to an external, okay, framework, that means that I would want to see some kind of cracking correlation at the lows, because that will give me the hint that, okay, now we're getting ready to reverse from here. Okay, so we had that cracking correlation. ES swept the London low and NQ never had that sweep. Okay, now on top of that, NQ came down into the fair value gap here of the hourly, but 1 hour here, that hourly fair value gap here, while ES never did. ES never reached into that fair value gap. So now we have a two-stage cracking correlation. We have stage 1, stage 2. Okay, now because we're in this area at around 5 a.m., I'm waiting for the 6 a.m. to open up, because we're going to open up a new 4-hour candle, and I'm expecting that we're going to come out of this key level, key area, and create an expansion candle away from it, right? So 6 a.m., let's draw that out where the open is. 6 a.m. open right over here. Where's 6? 6 right over here. Now that we've established our cracks and correlation in our key area, right, we can look for that change of state of delivery over here, with the narrative of it being an expansion candle. So what is an expansion candle? Well, it's a candle that, you know, creates a big body and a small wick, okay, where the body is going to continue to expand up and the wick is only there to you know, to create that small manipulation and continue the narrative up. And 6 a.m. opens up, creates an order block already. All right, so we open the candle and we push down immediately, creating that wick. So this is exactly what I want to see if we want to see an expansion candle. We open up, we create a small wick, and then from that small wick, we expand away from it, and we keep expanding away from it. And as you can see, obviously, like that narrative was like played out beautifully, because we caught that low of the day, London low of the day, changed the state of delivery. And as that change of state of delivery happened, we have continued reinforcements of that order flow being bullish. So we had that change of state of delivery happen here, right? Where initially we're pushing the delivery to the sell side, creating low resistance liquidity here. That's already a characteristic that we're going to have some kind of reversal back in order to capture all this liquidity. And then we have the change of state and order flow respecting that bullishness, right? Now, on top of it, we also had an SMT in this area here on that buy side of the curve. So now we have 3 cracks in correlation, right? We have 3. We have one here, and now one here, still reinforcing that idea that, okay, we're going to go bullish. Okay. And our target was external, because that's the framework, right? Internal to external. So price opened up, went to the external. And that's pretty much that. That was my second trade. My second trade was at the 6 a.m. open over here at the entry. At the open, yeah, the 6 a.m. open. So 6 a.m. opened up, caught the order block and fair value gap, created a swing, continued to expand up, took my low hanging fruit, and that's pretty much the trade. You know, it's that simple. Just day in, day out should be the same trades, like the same frameworks, right? Um, we can see now 10 o'clock is pushing up, right? Um, check out what this looks like. Now we have an SMT here with ES at the lows. So just to briefly see what's happening currently, right? So we have that SMT here, and the same way we would frame that 10 o'clock is the same way that we frame that daily, right? So as long as we keep respecting that order flow, that 50% and above level of the range of the previous 4 hour, we can see that happening here. We're respecting it, right? And as price came down here, creating SMT, I'm expecting this to continue up, right? Like it only makes sense. Where's the previous weekly high? Yeah, so we have previous weekly high like right here. So maybe these two levels here. Anyway, that was my trade. The sells into the internal and then the buys into the external. Yeah, that's it.